Welcome to the Morale Booster Network, a platform for entrepreneurs, career professionals, leaders, and the general public to give back to the society through coaching and mentoring. I remain your host, Dr. John Ugulu. I am an author, speaker, and strategist. I always say experience is the best teacher. You can stream or download this podcast from YouTube, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Music, Google Podcast, Player FM, and Pandora. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, Morale Booster family. Welcome to the Morale Booster podcast. I am Dr. John Ugulu, your host. Today, we are thrilled to welcome our special guest, Maria Tolliver. If this is your very first time listening to the Morale Booster podcast, you're very welcome. Please like, comment, and share the broadcast. And here is the reason why. It's because you might just be saving the life of that one person who is on your contact list that has been waiting for a lifetime to hear the message that we will be sharing today. So let's embark on this inspiring journey together. I always love to remind my listeners that every day above ground is indeed a blessed day. And if you are happy to be alive this moment, I want you to place your hand on your chest and say, I am blessed. Yes, you are blessed. And here's the reason why. It's because so many people all over the world, went to bed last night having plans for today. And unfortunately, some couldn't see daylight. But you can hear me speak right now because you are blessed with the gift of life. So it is indeed worthy to reaffirm and thank God for the gift of life. We're live with Maria Tolliver. Maria is a writer, an author of God in the Details. That's the title of her book, God in the Details. It is a Christian-based book where she advocates for women on the journey of entrepreneurship. Maria has nearly a decade of experience crafting compelling content across industries in the United States and Canada. As an experienced writer, Maria honed her craft while living in Toronto, Ontario, where she earned a master's degree in interactive media management, which of course is a discipline that teaches how to write and create content across various platforms. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, please join me as I welcome our guest for today, Maria Tolliver, to the Morale Booster podcast. Maria, thank you for joining us on this program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure is all mine. You know, you could have been somewhere doing something else with your busy schedule, but you chose to come here today, and we appreciate you. Words cannot even express how much we appreciate you for coming here, because your presence here will definitely inspire and motivate somebody somewhere. By the special grace of God, the Morale Booster platform the Morale Booster podcast is currently being streamed on over 20 platforms. So yes, over 20 platforms,
Awesome.
including iHeartRadio, including all the major podcast platforms like Spotify. So if you're still listening to us, please like and share this broadcast. Take it as your charity work for today to share it so that somebody will be blessed. So what part of the country are you at the moment?
I am in Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. And how's
Yeah.
the weather over there?
It is very snowy and cold, but it's okay. I'm used to it.
Oh, you're used to it. Does it get really cold over there?
It can, yes. It's in the 20s today. So,
Oh, okay. That's great. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and
uh,
we're not used to snow. We received a snow alert today that Friday schools will be will be closed. And I know for sure, having lived here for a long time, I know for sure that the snow would not be as there's no way
Yeah.
the snow would be that thick, but we typically don't have the right plans
Yeah.
for snow.
I've heard.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me. So I know your book titled God in the Details advocates for women on the entrepreneurial journey. So what key mindset shift do you believe is most important for women when starting their own businesses?
I would say think about the fact that your business is serving others. We're in the business of serving others. No matter what you do for a living, God has given you skill sets ultimately to serve other people. So I think once we get that in mind, that would give us the confidence and determination that we need to know, okay, there's someone out there that needs my services. They need my coaching, they need my counseling, they need my product, right? It's not just about you. And I had to come to terms with that with myself that, the longer that I wait, the longer it's going to be for someone that needs my help receives it. So just think about all the people that are out there that's waiting for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one because typically when we remove the sentiments of thinking the business is just for us, our family members, that on the other hand changes the mindset. And mindset is very important when it comes to entrepreneurship. In fact, entrepreneurship is a mindset.
Yes.
Entrepreneurship on its own is different from having a business. Entrepreneurship is the mindset that anchors the business that you want to set up. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that. So now I know you've got close to a decade
Yeah.
of experience. Yes, and that's no small um, experience over there. So with nearly a decade of experience in crafting content,
Mhm.
how do you stay motivated to continue honing your craft? And how can others apply that persistence in their own growth journey?
Okay, so I love that question because motivation, it's really about being disciplined. But as far as the technical part of how I stay motivated, I use different tools, right? So one of my favorite tools that I use is something called Focus Keeper. So what it does, it's a small app on your phone, it's free, and it times your tasks for you. So you won't take as long. So you're able to expand your time and have better time management. That's a big part of staying motivated. Because if you go through the day and waste your time, you start to think, oh, I don't have enough time to complete this. And then you get stressed and all of that. So just keeping little tools like that in your belt, using something like Trello, that's a productivity app that you can use, just things like that. And then also, what I like to do is podcasts. I like listening to podcasts. Of course, your podcast will be something that I would listen to, something that's motivating me, that's constantly being the person in my ear, the saying, Maria, get it, get it together. You have people waiting on you. You have to show up for them and things like that. Like I need that. I need my own personal coach sometimes. So listening to podcasts and getting involved in self improvement and things like that. However, I am biblically based, so I make time in the morning to read scripture. I do my scripture readings every morning. I have like a plan that I follow, okay, and I meditate. I journal. In those three things, I'm telling you, whether you're male or female, if you're doing that, it really helps to just calm your nerves and set the whole tone for your day. Especially if you're praying and meditating, you're setting the entire tone for your day, and you're able to show up for people and show up for work and things like that a lot better. So yeah, it's been working out for me. I've been doing that for the past almost the duration of my career. So that's what I urge others to do.
Yeah, I love that. They all resonate with me. You talked about motivation and discipline. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
No matter the amount of motivation you have, when there is no discipline, it could be wasted because motivation all by itself is external.
Yes.
Motivation comes from somebody trying to push you. So when there is no discipline, when there is no inspiration, because inspiration comes from within. So when somebody's pushing you to do something, you don't have the discipline and you don't even like it, it's not
Yeah.
coming from within. It's not going to work, right? And you talked about utilizing some tools for time management and planning.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you talked about effort keeper. That's a good one too. I always encourage people. Like for me, I write a lot. This is my journal. For those who are watching the video, I know we only have three video platforms that are seeing us right now. But for those who are listening to us, we have more listeners. I always keep a journal, and I am starting to transfer. You see, one is
Oh,
2024, one is
that's great.
2025. So I write down a lot. So I just started transferring things from my 2024 journal to my 2025 because I still have goals that I couldn't accomplish for 2024. And I still have some pending tasks that have
Same.
to be completed. So time management. Um, you talked about listening to podcasts, which is
Yes.
very, very important. They say faith comes by what? Hearing and
Hearing.
hearing. So we
Yes.
must be intentional about what we listen to. We must be intentional about that, right? You have something
Oh
to say.
yeah.
You want to add to that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, what you see, what you hear affects everything you do. You don't really realize it until you're doing something and you don't even know why you're doing it because you're like, "Oh, okay, something must have got in. It must have ate something."
Yes, 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 that's true. So we must be intentional about what we listen to because when you listen to podcasts, you have the opportunity to um, listen to various perspectives of various perspectives, and that's key. So you also talked about reading the scripture, meditating, and journaling, like I talked about. So thank you so much for sharing all that. And I believe this would serve as a great reminder to someone out there who's listening to us. So now I have another question I want to ask you.
Shoot.
Uh, yeah. So, in your experience working across industries in both the United States and Canada, what cultural or professional differences have you observed that impact the entrepreneurial mindset, especially for women?
That is a really good question. New age principles. That's a big one that I've observed. That's kind of the way to describe it. The best way to intake that would be mixing Christian beliefs, like the old Judeo-Christian beliefs, new with the new way of identifying with the new way of identity, identifying gender and things like that. You come across that a lot, and I've come across it a lot with working with entrepreneurs and in past positions and roles that I've been in. That just kind of hits head on, especially as a Christian. It's kind of hard to. That's a I would say that's the most conflicting thing as an entrepreneur, where, I am a Christian. That is me, but I can work with anybody, it's not that. It's just you come into just certain roadblocks. Like it's certain things that I wouldn't do, like even as a writer, right? There's certain projects I won't take on. I can't because it interferes with my principles and my faith and things like that. So a lot of that's the biggest cultural religious, it's kind of a religious difference. But it's all embedded into the culture because most people, and I talk about this a lot in my book, how people make culture an idol. So you run across that a lot. Um, I hope that answered the question because that's kind of what I run even to today. I still run into that where you just can't. It's really hard to come to an agreement sometimes, and sometimes you just can't take the project on. Um, and that's where the talk about discipline comes into play.
Right, right. That resonates with me. And you talked about people making culture an idol. That
Yes.
that could go a long way in hindering or even helping in some instances. So, but with the growth or creation of lots of women-owned businesses these days, we see a lot of women helping and supporting themselves, irrespective of their various cultures. So, which makes that good. So, there is still hope for you, people like you who have just started empowering women, and women are not joking at all. I must say that. In the space
That's
of
a
personal
fact.
development, they're not joking at all, like at all. Sometimes I could send out an invitation to 20 people, say 10 men and 10 women. I'll get a response from only one man, and I'll get a response from all 10 women. I'll be like,
Yep.
what? What is going on? So yes, thank you for all you
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I was raised by my mom. My dad died when I was in high school.
Oh,
So
sorry.
yeah, my mom, through her entrepreneurial skills and experience, she was able to continue to step in as a dad, a mom, of an uncle. She was everything because of that entrepreneurship, the entrepreneurial background that she had.
Right.
Yeah, if she was an employee, now I am not saying it's bad for people to be employees, because without employees,
Of course.
businesses will not grow.
Exactly.
Yeah, but for those who have decided that entrepreneurship and starting their own business is what they want to do at this point, I want to encourage you, because I my mom's life is a testament of is a testament that entrepreneurship can propel you to the next level. I grew up. In fact, when I see her, I still say, "Oh, I remember growing up. All she needed to do was to give me her business card, and right behind the business card saying, 'The bearer is my son,' and that card would open every door."
Awesome.
You know. So with the cultural shift right now, women getting into business more and more, it's a great thing. I support them because of my own background as well. So I want to say kudos to you for all you do. Keep shining your light, keep encouraging, keep motivating, and keep inspiring these women.
For
All
sure.
right. So yeah. So my next question is, okay, how many books have you published in total?
Two.
Two. Okay.
Yes.
So
This is
as
my breakout one.
sorry.
This is my breakout one. This one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Congratulations to you. And I know this is just the beginning of many more to come. All right.
For
So,
sure.
as an author and a content creator, I know it's a lot. It's a lot of work. You have a lot going on. So, how do you maintain that growth mindset when faced with challenges or setbacks in your projects?
Um,
Yeah, we know setbacks are part of the whole growth process. So how do you, it will come, setbacks will come, challenges will come. How do you cope, and how do you go through them?
it's interesting. I just had a few deaths in my family. And you just get it polarizes you a bit. Not even a bit. It can sometimes it just stops. You just stop, right? So sometimes what I've learned about grief, because suffered quite a few losses in just a short amount of time. Um, and you really, sometimes I find myself just doing, going, and just like trying to just maybe if I clean up or, just keep working some task that it'll quiet down the grief or something like that. But you have to let it move through you. And you sometimes, in order for you to stay disciplined, being disciplined might actually require you to stop. It might require you to, just take some time out, even if you have to schedule it in your calendar to say, I'm not doing anything, because you have to give your body time you know, to recognize what's happening, and it's just give it time to relax. And it's just important because your body is the machine, your brain, you got to give your soul a chance to catch up with your body, is what I like to say. Just give it a chance to sink, even if you have to take naps. So honestly, that's how I've been working through. Is just I literally just don't do anything for a few hours, or I might have to take a day. When some days are really hard, I have to just take a day to where I just read. Maybe I'm just sitting in my bed and I'm reading and I'm having a cup of coffee or tea or something, like something that makes you feel good. So that's what I would suggest. Is just, I know people don't like to hear that. You want to just keep going, but honestly, you need to just relax. Just take some time out for yourself.
Yes, I love that. You touched on a very important topic. As business owners, we know we are in control of our income, finances. So the urge to keep going, to keep
Yeah.
working, to keep putting in the work, especially at the early stages where the systems have not been put in place, the right systems have not been put in place, or you've not had um, people trained up to the level where you can say, you know what, let me step back for a second. We keep working, we keep grinding, we keep pushing, and
Yeah.
when you say take a break, it becomes weird.
Yeah.
So you are encouraging that we should learn to take breaks because that works. We should learn to take breaks. I completely agree with you on that because the work is not going to end.
Yeah.
The work will not end. At some point you would have to transfer those to someone else, but it will not end,
It'll be
right?
there.
It will be there. So let's learn to take breaks. And I want to say sorry to for your losses. You said excuse me, you lost some people this year. Did you say this year or last year?
Last year. Yeah.
So sorry to hear that.
Oh, thank you.
Pray that the Almighty God grants you and your family and your household the fortitude to bear the loss. It's God that gives and it's God that takes. I always tell people that we were all sent into this world just to do time,
Yeah. That's a good one.
to do time. And when your time is up, it's up. It doesn't matter how long, you know, how how old was Jesus Christ when he was killed, when he died. Yeah, but guess what?
Yeah.
His work still impacts lives and will continuously impact generations to come. So life is life. But I sincerely do
Yeah.
apologize. I feel sorry for that. But just keep going. Make them proud by not
Oh,
giving up.
sure. Appreciate it.
Yes, yes. All right. So, if you give me the opportunity, I will ask you questions the whole day. But I just want to ask you one last question so I can release you and allow you go take care of business. Is that okay?
That's fine. Yeah.
Awesome. So your background in interactive media management
Yes.
offers, yes, that offers a unique perspective, right? So how do you balance creativity and business strategy?
Um, hmm. How do I balance it? I think that's one of those things I just start doing. You know what? Delegation. Honestly, That is so important. I am the type of person in my career. I've been the one that's been the a one man show over here. Um, Honestly, delegation because I my problem is that I don't trust people sometimes with creative ideas. Like it's so hard because I need to actually hire a social media manager for my own content, for my own business. And it's been hard for me to find one because I just have to let go. I have to take my hand off the wheel. So that's one way that I have learned to balance creativity and strategy. You have to outsource some of this stuff. You won't be able to scale that way. It just won't work. Like what successful business that has not outsourced, has not delegated, have at least 3 or 4 employees, at least, as a solopreneur, you will have to delegate something. So yeah, I would say delegation, outsourcing is how I would manage that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Delegation is key. And you said something about not yet trusting people to do, yeah, it's very okay because you are the
Yeah,
visionary leader. You're the visionary leader. And we thank God for those outsourcing apps
for
and
sure.
that reduces the burden because what you do in the space of creativity is very time consuming and it could be overwhelming at some point, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
outsourcing is wonderful, but you still need to keep up with being the visionary leader. That's it. Nobody can do it as good as you. Eh,
Yeah,
you-
that's the part that I have to let go. Train someone.
yeah, they will come up with their own ideas, but you're the visionary leader. You know where the business is heading to. You know where you want the business to go to, and along the way, you train people to align with that vision, which will take time. No business formation is easy. Except you're willing to spend millions and millions of dollars like the bigger corporations. With time, you will get there, but right now, it's one step at a time. So keep being the visionary leader. Write down as much as you possibly can. That's what I do. I write down everything. When I'm thinking of
Yeah,
strategies, I put it down. We have policies for everything. Policies. Like I have policies of when I get into the office in the morning, what do I do? Number one, I do this. Number two, I do this. Number three, I write all that. I write those steps down because I know one day I'll have somebody sit next to me and say, "These are everything I do when I get to the office. See how these can help you."
yeah, that's
Yes. So thank you so much for sharing, ladies and gentlemen. We still have Maria Tolliver with us. If you are just joining us, don't worry. Like and share this broadcast because you might just be saving the life of that one person who has been waiting for a lifetime to hear this message. And we have some beautiful comments here. Someone said, our body and mind needs to heal and need a breakthrough. Yes, Sanada, thank you so
100%.
much for that beautiful contribution. You are very, very correct. Our body and mind needs to heal and need a break too. I don't know who's listening to us right now.
That's
You need
facts.
to take a break. Yes, you need to take a break. So thank you so much, Maria. I hope when next I invite you to the Morale Booster podcast, you will be willing to come and share some more words of wisdom.
For sure. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. And where can our listeners get your books to buy? Where can they buy your books from?
Sure. So my book, I'll show you. This is my book here.
Okay.
It's available on Amazon, or you can actually go to my website, www.mariatolliver.com. Go to the website, click the link there. It's going to take you directly to the distributor. I would prefer that way because it goes directly to the distributor. or Amazon, whichever is easier. I appreciate all the support. This book is for you. I wrote it for you, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, like I always say, whatever has a beginning surely does have an end, including our lives, including your life, including my life. We're here to do time, same as this program. It's about that time where we need to bring this program to a close. So we're excited to share some amazing ways for you who's listening to stay connected with our mission and continue to grow together. Your support and engagement means the world to us. Now, there are several ways in which you can get involved in what we do. You can either support our mission and help us continue uplifting lives by making a donation. Nothing is too small. All donations go to the John Ogulu Foundation. Your generosity allows us to keep spreading hope and positivity. So if you feel our online coaching and mentoring through bringing guests have impacted you or anyone you know, please feel free to support with a donation. If you're thinking of donating, making a donation today, visit the website www.johnugulu.com. www.johnughulu.com. You can also visit the website and click on resources to purchase inspirational books or to listen to our latest podcast episodes. And lastly, this is some good news. You can become a part of our growing community where we uplift and inspire one another every day. You can subscribe today for just $10 and receive exclusive content, daily motivation, and access to special events. Yes, when you are a subscribed member of the Morale Booster Empire, you have the opportunity of being nominated for the Morale Booster Annual Award. You also have the opportunity of being nominated for the President's Lifetime Achievement Award. Yes. So your volunteer hours with the John Ogulu Foundation can put you on the scale where you will be nominated for these awards. So thank you for being a part of this journey with us. Together, we can continue to make a lasting impact and spread positivity in all we do. Thank you for joining us. And remember, today is the first day of the rest of your life. Stay blessed, everybody. Thank you once again, Maria. We'll
Thank
talk soon.
you.
Bye.
Bye.